All right, hello everyone, welcome back. So we are currently catching up on everything that has happened over the past 7 days. A lot of people have redirected me to a Paige Christie video. I absolutely adore Paige. And this video apparently is something that people want me to give feedback on, give commentary on, and I will happily do that because if there's a Paige Christie video, I'm gonna watch it. So let's do it. I will link it down below. The title of this video is called Colleen Ballinger and Her Awful Bob. ... Seriously? What's your name, B.O.B.? Something calling you Bob. I mean, the Bob is crazy. The Bob is definitely bobbing. It's definitely something. You know what? If she... Yeah. Alright, let's get into this Paige Christie video! I will link it down below. Shout out Paige. Love ya.
So... Colleen Ballinger
She looks good.
is back. And I would like to say that I am somewhat surprised, but I'm not. And the reason that I'm not surprised is because she is playing by the exact same playbook as James Charles. And in today's video, I want to take a quick look into how she has utilized the exact same formula that James Charles has utilized in order to avoid public scrutiny and to redirect the narrative. Today's video isn't going to be like my usual videos where I have a script and things to say and bullet points. I'm just going to be going from the heart because I truly believe that what is taking place on social media right now as it pertains to Colleen Ballinger is honestly disgusting and shows a flagrant hypocrisy and a flagrant disregard for the rules of YouTube from YouTube themselves. Now, if you aren't aware, Colleen Ballinger returns...
Okay, I have two things to say, first and foremost. Number one, I just want to also let people know that Paige was someone who, especially this summer, was very, very, very supportive of me. Actually did an interview with me and did the infamous one with Cody. Who remembers? Who remembers the echo crying? Anyone? Oh my God, Paige! Paige said, "Girl, why I be scrolling and I see my face? Because people want me to watch it. Oh God, I was just about to compliment you. Now it's awkward that you're here. Paige, leave so I can compliment you." Paige was someone who reached out to me a lot during summer. It's very awkward to say this now that she's in the chat. And did a really great interview with me. And aside from doing a really great interview with me, was very, very, very supportive in not wanting to push it too far. Also spoke with me whenever we weren't on the record and just was very, very, very supportive. So what you see is what you get with Paige Christie. I really appreciate her. And she gave us the Cody Tyler interview, which I think is one of the most monumental moments of my entire life. Remember the echo crying, y'all? People remember it. People remember it. So my voice is cutting in and out. I'm very sick. Please be patient. But I do just want to say that I really appreciate what she's saying. And also, the James Colleen comparisons already are very interesting because James Charles was someone, like people said in the chat, who in 2020 publicly went on the record getting his audience to come and attack me by calling me a liar and basically calling me a stalker. So, James Charles, we love you over here. And shout out, hope you're doing well.
Titled Fall Vlog. After her horrendous quote-unquote apology video it is that she made using her ukulele to sing a song of sixpence and a pocket full of rye as to why we should not believe that she is a groomer and just simply a loser. Despite extensive research and documentaries being done by content creators like Swoop and myself, as well as many others, despite the numerous allegations that came out, the multiple individuals who came forward to speak on their experience with Colleen Ballinger, as well as possibly one of the most heinous claims altogether, being that Colleen Ballinger sent pornography to minors, and that there were numerous different minors who remember such incidences taking place. Now, if you aren't familiar with the Colleen Ballinger story, might I suggest watching any of Swoop's videos pertaining to the situation as well as my own. I will leave them at the top of the screen for you guys to take.
I was about to say as well, underneath this, I'm going to pin Paige's video, but I'm also going to pin the doc that she did because it was really, really, really good. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. So both of those things will be pinned down below.
That will give you kind of the background as to what it is that I'm discussing today, so I definitely suggest you watch those videos before continuing with this. But back to the story. After the allegations became as big as they did, making its way to mainstream media coverage and articles of the topic, we weren't expecting to see Colleen Ballinger so soon. But Colleen Ballinger returned with her full vlog in which we, the audience, were expecting to hear her side, her version of events, and maybe an apology. A true apology for those it is that she affected. She has been accused of leveraging her celebrity in order to make minors do things on her behalf. For instance, some alleged victims who were minors have stated that Colleen Ballinger used to make them go on social media, websites, and gossip forums.
Can confirm.
And narratives that have been made about her in regards to her
Can confirm.
falling apart. A lot of people have also stated that Colleen Ballinger used to trauma dump on them frequently.
Can confirm.
How badly it was that she was treated in her
Can confirm.
and allowing these people to essentially degrade and harass her ex-partner.
Yeah, fuck Andre Quintana. Fuck Andre Quintana. Oh, completely forgot about that article. Fuck Andre Quintana. Hate that man.
Evans himself has accused her of cheating on him and details his story in detail with swoop. Sending underwear to a minor, of which she addressed several years later in a video.
And lied about.
She did apologize.
But lied about.
And possibly most egregious of all, she has been accused of sending Trisha Paytas's OnlyFans content to children. And there are numerous damning receipts that lead me to believe that that may potentially be the truth. Now, what always struck me when this information became public about the alleged nudity being sent to minors was that Adam McIntyre never announced that earlier on. When he made his video in regards to Colleen Ballinger in 2020, the main grievance and gripe was that he was sent underwear from Colleen Ballinger, despite her being an adult and him at the time being a minor. And everybody questioned Adam McIntyre's integrity because he didn't seem to bring up the most important part until recently.
I think one thing that's important to note with this as well, that I've kind of spoken about whenever I think I said it on like a podcast or two, but there's something to note that when people say in my 2020 video that I didn't say everything, number one, I wanted to protect myself and I didn't want all of that out there because it was embarrassing. But number two, I've said time and time again, and if you go back and watch the 2020 video I did with this little piece of context, it'll make so much sense. That video was for the Colleen Ballinger fandom. Like, all of my friends that were in the fandom, the people that watched my YouTube channel back there were basically the people in the fandom. Every video they would ask about her. The video was basically to let them know, you know, basically stop asking about when she's going to comment on my next video or whatever. Like, this is the truth of what happened. And she was talking shit about me in DMs. Corey was talking shit about me in DMs. So that video, watch it with that context, because there are so many things that kind of jump around. But if you were in the fandom, you didn't need the context. You didn't need, you know, anything like that. So I think that that is something to know. And then this year, whenever Cody came forward with that, I was like, you know what? We are doing this one final time. Have fucking everything and go for it. Go for it.
Which was that he alleged that...
And by the way, if you put out everything, then the truth is out there. If I put out everything, then the truth's out there. You know what I mean? Like, you can't fight back with everything being put out there, because then you would have to, like, kind of condense it a little bit to make it fit your narrative. Whereas if I put everything out there, literally scrolling through the DMs, you know, even like boring ones or ones that don't really have any context, you know, to what we're talking about, you've seen everything and you can come up with your own opinion. I'm not here to sway you in anything. I presented you with everything and you can come up with your own opinion.
Would send nudity of Trisha Paytas to him and various other individuals within their group chats. And to me, that always made me think to myself, how incredibly young, naive, and adolescent in the brain one must have to be to put the idea of being sent underwear, which is still pretty bad, above the redistribution of pornography to children. Honestly, if that doesn't show how minors may not have the same cognitive ability as adults, therefore should be protected at all costs, I don't know what should. Now, apologies if I seem extremely solemn today. This situation really, really affects me in a huge way. So this right now is my call out to YouTube to do something about the protection of minors on their platform and how their platform is being utilized to navigate the potential harm of their young subscriber bases. So without further ado, let's take a look at Colleen Ballinger's comeback video, and I will come back with my thoughts.
Hello, everybody. Sorry I've been gone for so long. I've really missed this. I've missed talking to everyone every single day. Obviously, the last video that I posted on here, it's really embarrassing, to say the least. I was being accused of some pretty awful things, and I just was mad.
That fucking smoothing filter on her face. Fuck me.
Maturity and empathy, but instead I just let my ego take over, and I'm really disappointed in myself.
Yeah, the video's still up.
So, here's what I want to say today. Over the last 15 years of my career, there have been moments where I was immature and inappropriate with some of my comedy. And there were times when I did not put enough thought into some of my fan interactions. And because of that behavior, people got hurt. And I am so sorry. I never wanted to hurt anybody, but it's clear that I did, and I feel so terrible about that.
Okay, so from the outset, the first thing it is that I noticed is that Colleen Ballinger apologizes for the situation. She apologizes for her absence, and she apologizes for the way it is that she conducted her apology. Great. What about the people genuinely affected by you? Saying a blanket, I apologize to those who were hurt, for me is not good enough.
But also, not only is it a blanket statement, it's so much... It's a blanket statement that doesn't apply. You know what I mean? I'm so embarrassed by that last video. Who was that? It's still up and you can go watch it and there's ads on it. You know, let's go make money off of it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even apply.
Especially considering the intense amount of public hate it is that Adam McIntyre has experienced at the hands of Colleen Ballinger's fandom for simply saying that this is not okay. A minor came forward on a public platform and told the world that what happened to me was inappropriate, a level of innocence was stolen from him, and that what took place was not okay. When we look at Colleen Ballinger's response to that in her video responding to the allegations made by Adam McIntyre, her response was to shift the narrative, place the blame back onto the minor, which is exactly what it is that she did a second time she sat down with the ukulele and said, I'm a groomer, I'm not a groomer, I'm a loser. I truly don't believe that Colleen Ballinger understands the immense amount of emotional effect that this can take on a young person. I don't think she acknowledges or realizes what it would be like for her as a parent. And this is the part, this is why I'm trying to speak slowly and clearly, because it really upsets me. But fuck it. Colleen, you're a mother of 3 children, 3 beautiful children. If an adult was having a conversation with your children, that would be very inappropriate. To take that one step further, if that adult had a conversation with the minor, sent them underwear, and then sent them pornography, that is very inappropriate. It's beyond inappropriate. It is borderline criminal. How dare you stand up on your platform and tell everybody, I'm sorry that you were hurt. It is more than hurt that you're doing to these people. This is therapy. This is emotional damage. This is a loss of innocence. This is the stolen innocence of minors. Introducing them to your life, having conversations with them, talking about the toys it is that you're using, telling them to put tampons inside themselves. That's what you did to children. How dare you come back and say, I'm sorry you were hurt. After that horrendous ukulele apology, where you described yourself as a 30-year-old aunt who wants to be cool with the kids, but they weren't cool. That's not what took place there. The reason that we're even talking about this is because somebody was brave enough to speak. If you amplified that by the numerous amount of minors who were terrified to speak, even when Adam McIntyre came forward with his story, and it still took them an additional 3 years to come to terms with the trauma that took place to them, you're a monster. A monster. But I digress.
Fuck! Oh my god! Paige! Oh my god! Fuck me. Jesus Christ. That was intense. That was intense, but that's what the situation is. You know what I mean? And furthermore, to add on to that as well, like, if that had happened to her fucking kids. But then imagine that the adult who did that to her kids, you know, and her being so protective of her kids and being so upset that this has happened to her kids, then that person goes on social media and does a hate campaign against them for 3 years. Imagine that, Colleen. Not only has that adult done that to your 3 children, but that person then does a hate campaign for 3 years, and if we're speaking about today, would still be hating on them as recently as this summer privately behind the scenes. You're evil. You're evil. You're an evil woman. I hope that you protect your children more than you protected other people's children, because you went out of your way to ruin children. You went out of your way. You loved it. And I hope that your children are being more protected than what you put other children at the hands of. Oh, YouTube said, take a moment.
Or feel abandoned by me because of my silence over the last few months. And I'm so sorry about that as well. I needed to take time to make sure I was listening and learning as much as possible. And I also needed to get the help that I needed to be okay. I'm a mom first and foremost before anything else, and I needed to take care of my kids. So that's where I've been, and but I'm back and I'm here now, and I am not a perfect person, and there are plenty of
take care of her kids, which doesn't care what happens to anyone else's, right?
Fix and change. I don't have control over any of that, and I don't have control over the things people say about me. I only have control over my actions moving forward, and so I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that I create a positive, kind, inclusive, safe space online with my content. And if you
I'm sure.
My journey online, I would love to have you, and if not, I completely understand. I do not expect anyone to welcome me back with open arms. I don't expect to change anyone's mind with this video. I just wanted to come on here and say that I'm sorry, and I wanted to try to show people that it's possible for someone to grow and learn and be better after making mistakes many, many years ago.
Many years ago. She was literally doing it this summer. Sorry. She was doing it this summer. I mean, listen, an easy way out of this is using the so long ago card. But if we're going to be honest, she was literally doing it this summer. She was in grip chats this summer. She was in the Weenies grip chat this summer, by the way. She was still in it this summer. Talking about me for the last 3 years on it. Don't worry. Have those screenshots too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at least don't bullshit. Because it's like, if you're going to come out and play this fucking holier than holy, I'm a mommy, like, cover your tracks a little bit. Fuck me.
So that's what I'm going to do.
I'm sorry. You've been away looking after your kids. That's what you're supposed to do, bare minimum. You're a mum, right? But the part that's really getting me, this is what gets me, is the fact that you're saying, well, you know, I need to look after them, which is exactly why you returned. Let's not sugarcoat this like you've done some soul searching, some growth, some therapy, some learning. Because if you did all of those things, you would know that a therapist would have told you that you need to come forward to your platform and take accountability. But that's probably not what the PR firm's telling you, right? The PR firm is probably telling you not to take any guilt. Do not admit any guilt or any fault in the situation, so you won't. How do you fucking sleep at night, Colleen? And having the absolute gall and the gumption to say that, oh, you know...
By the way, that is true. I mean, we're aware that she's hired defense attorneys, you know, Prince Andrew's Army Hammer. But the fact that she doesn't want to admit guilt, because she is guilty, by the way, rather than just doing the right thing. Whatever. Just like, Paige, this video is incredible.
I've made mistakes in my life. Yeah, I sure have. I've made mistakes in my life. I've hurt other people's feelings. I've said some things that are incredibly ignorant. I've hurt people in the past. Do you know what I didn't do? I didn't send minors nudity. Never sent to kids. Not once. Not ever.
I'm going to try to vlog again, and today I'm just gonna film my day and share some simple happy moments and, you know, start the process of starting over.
Start the process of starting over, but didn't she say that she's been vlogging this entire journey?
And clunky at first as I try to get back in the swing of things, but I'm gonna try. So that's what I'm gonna do. And thank you for listening, and thank you to anyone who supported me in any capacity over the last 15 years. I've really, really appreciated it. Yeah, let's get started with the day and see what happens, I guess. I honestly do not know how to transition from this conversation into a vlog, but Let's try.
Okay, and from that point on, she goes into a vlog of which she sits down and does other stuff like cleaning rocks that she found on the beach. These little moments and pockets of joy. Congratulations, you've been able to move on with your life. Congratulations. Now, does any of this feel familiar to anybody? Is this something that feels like we've been here? Is this our first rodeo? It's not our first rodeo. This is exactly how James Charles came back after admitting what it is that he did. He came forward, he addressed it briefly.
And in his now deleted video, where he acknowledged that he at least was inappropriate with 2 minors.
In a video and then continue to do a makeup tutorial, because what he wanted to do was move on, and in order to move on he had to continue to work as normal.
You know, I don't know who my perfect person is going to be or how I'm going to go about meeting them. I do know that I'm going to be way more careful and way more patient moving forward, but I still want to be able to talk to new people, meet new people, and have experiences just like every human being does, and find love like every human being deserves. And of course, when that happens,
Deserves.
I would love to share that with you guys, but until that happens,
Why the fuck? Sorry, that's such a weird comment. Why the fuck does he have to share with his audience his love life? Like, listen, I'm someone who, it's like, you know, like, do your Instagram photos, your Instagram stories, you know, like, you have to involve your audience in your love life. Like, how far does that go? You know what I mean? Like, keep outside of it.
no matter how careful I am, I'm most likely still gonna run into people that will always value likes or making a video over somebody's privacy and feelings. And that sucks. All I can do
Bitch, you just said you wanted to post the relationship.
Be more careful moving forward, and that I promise is exactly what I'm gonna be doing. I hope I was able to answer some questions, clear up some stuff that didn't happen, but most importantly, once again, be able to hold myself accountable for what did and explain to you guys why I put myself into this situation, why it's wrong, and how I'm working a lot on myself and making a lot of changes to make sure that this never ever happens again in the future. And I
Shocker, apparently it did. Allegedly.
to stick around for that journey. All that being said, this bake has been sitting on my face for
Now, let's go back to our makeup.
my skin, which is disgusting. So I'm going to wipe it away. We can get started on an eyeshadow look and hopefully have a much more fun end to this video.
Now this, for some reason,
Isn't that exactly what... Wait, Paige, you're kind of onto something here. Isn't that literally what Colleen said? Now let's go into a happier section. James goes, let's go into happier makeup. You know, and then Colleen saying, let's go happier. And what did Paige say she does? Looks at rocks. Oof. Who was it said that Colleen Ballinger is... Her pioneer transformative content to the YouTube community is missed or something. They were hating on me and they were like, her content is such a... yeah, you're missing out on that rock content. Fuck me.
is becoming textbook of how to move on from controversy on social media. Now, I'm not saying that somebody can't move on ever. Like, if you've done something bad, if you've said something bad, I'm not saying that you...
Adam talking about Colleen Shocker. Baby, you clicked on a live stream that says Colleen Ballinger in the title. You're as bad as me.
Can't move on. But what I am saying is, if what is being alleged of you is so egregious, I don't believe that you deserve to move on until it is addressed. That is point blank, and I don't think you deserve to move on. I don't think you deserve to have a platform, and that's where you two come in, right? I am so incredibly sick and tired of this platform allowing people on here who have been accused of egregious crimes and not treating it with the same vim that they treat other people. For instance, right? There was a content creator on this platform called EDP445. I do believe that's what his name was. He was a controversial content creator. He used to say the R slur a bunch, but he had a really strong and dedicated fan base. Now, not too long ago, what ended up happening was a vigilante group who, you know, I think they're called like predator poachers. They basically set up sting operations so that people can be found to be conversing with what they believe to be a minor. Now, EDP445 was found guilty of this. They managed to get EDP445 to believe that he was talking to a 14-year-old and then confronted him as he attempted to meet the 14-year-old.
Nice, Jesus Christ.
The 14-year-old, he was conversing with an adult as this was a sting operation.
Okay, so why 13 but not 12?
I don't know.
Okay.
And that's the truth.
Okay.
Not
But,
lying to you.
like, so if Sophie was 12, what would have been your response?
Probably would have went to the bathroom and threw up.
Okay, so what? Okay, so for me, like,
You don't have to believe me, bro. You can sit back and saw the
right. So for me,
Now, when he was found in this sting operation that was done by a vigilante group, he ended up losing his entire platform on YouTube. In fact, not just YouTube, pretty much every platform it is that EDP445 has tried to get on has got rid of him. He has been removed from TikTok. I do believe he has tried some other chat websites, like some Asian chat websites that he's been removed from as well. There are numerous different places that this man has attempted to go, and he has not been allowed on their platforms, or he has been removed from their platforms. extremely fast. Now, the reason for this is because he was involved in this sting operation that everybody saw. We all saw it. We all saw the screenshots, the evidence. However, these vigilante groups who end up doing these kind of sting operations aren't certified by the police. So because of that, they cannot verify or validate anything. Yes, you can attempt to bring them to the police and have them question them, but unless the police have conducted this sting operation themselves, or this is in collaboration with the police force, they really can't do anything at all. So a lot of the people who end up being involved in these sting operations end up walking away free. In fact, one of the things
that's so scary, isn't it? That is so scary. That is so terrifying. That someone can literally be caught doing that, and it can just be kind of like, oh, well, we're not certified. Even though we literally trapped you into a corner proving this. Fuck me.
Absolutely crazy to find out was that Chris Hansen's To Catch a Predator only had like
not Chris Hansen
individuals who were actually convicted based on what had happened in these sting operations, because for the majority of them, they ended up walking away free people, free men, free into the universe, knowing that they had attempted to, you know, solicit engagement from a minor in a sexual way. Now, I believe that YouTube was 100% within their right to say, we do not want somebody who has the potential to utilize and leverage his platform to speak to minors and do something insidious with us being a part of that chain. We don't want nothing to do with it. So they removed him, and I wholeheartedly agree. Another situation that took place more recently is with Russell Brand. Russell Brand is a...
Russell Brand got dropped really quickly. Russell Brand got dropped really quickly.
As well. He has a lot of notoriety. A lot of people know who he is. However, more recently, he has become a political streamer or a political video maker, and a lot of people are now following him for his, you know, views on politics. Now, he has quite a substantial platform here on YouTube as well. However, more recently, a documentary came out by Channel 4 where they basically said that there was a plethora of women over the past several decades who have basically made allegations of SA as well as R-word as well as a bunch of different things, and just how he utilized and leveraged his celebrity in order to get minors to do things allegedly.
It's terrifying how common this is. It is. I think Paige pulling all of this together is painting a very accurate image as well.
Students that he would point out in the audience because he wanted to F them. Now, whilst these allegations were made on a mainstream media platform on Channel 4, nothing has been done about these allegations. This man is still walking around a free man, and whether there is an investigation that is currently taking place, I don't know. But at present, Russell Brand is still a free person, and it is innocent until proven guilty. Now, I believe that YouTube is well within its rights to say this is a person who many have alleged to utilizing their platform in order to harm them in ways that is inconceivable. And because of that, we don't want to be a part of the chain. He can no longer monetize and make any money from our platform. We are not allowing him in our space like that. So subsequently, Russell Brand made a video stating that he was going to be moving from YouTube over to another platform, which I do believe is Rumble. And he is now on Rumble.
Of course. Never, don't change your behavior, just change the platform, of course. Of course.
You're gonna have to go somewhere else to make your money. And again, I believe that YouTube is 100% within their rights to do that. I believe that that is a positive move in the correct direction. I do believe the allegations of these victims. That's my personal disposition. That's how I feel about it. However, we cannot deny that this is a free man, as is EDP. These are two men who are free men. Please tell me why in God's name that there can be a slew of allegations, a slew of individuals coming forward with their own independent stories of how they have been harmed by Colleen Ballinger, as well as subsequent evidence that we believe, that the general consensus on social media believe to be true, that Colleen Ballinger sent nudity and to minors. We can know this, that an alleged criminal offense took place, and we don't remove that person from the platform. Why? And here's the thing, right? Colleen Ballinger...
But she's able to come back because she has to show you her rocks. Come on. If you got rid of her on the platform, you wouldn't be able to see the rocks. Or the B.O.B. so they calling you Bob.
Free woman, right? There's no current investigation going on into Colleen Ballinger as far as we are aware. Why does she get a platform and Russell Brand don't? Why does she get a platform and EDP don't? Why does James Charles get a platform and these men don't? Why are we not ruling the same all across the board? There are 10 alleged accusers of James Charles, with more coming out more recently, and still to this day, this boy has a platform. He's coming out with stories wrote by terrible journalists telling people, uncancel me, please. Why is this allowed to be happening? YouTube have policies in place in order to protect minors.
Fuck, Paige is on fire with this video. Holy shit.
At all costs. Right now, I currently have a community guideline strike on my channel from 2017 for a video it is that I made about father of 5, daddy of 5, I've forgotten what the name is. We all know the story, the family of individuals who were kind of not very great to their kids, essentially child abuse. I discussed it. I discussed how disgusting it was, how horrible these parents are, how they don't deserve to have a platform, and basically went with the general consensus of social media that this is so wrong and so traumatizing to children and should not exist. But because I showed clips of said abuse that they posted to their YouTube channel, that was on their YouTube channel for
rules for thee, not for me,
to show exactly what it was that I was discussing, with their faces blurred to protect the identity of the children as best as I could on my platform, but showing how disgusting and how incredibly awful the entire situation was. I have a community guideline strike on my channel that will remain there forever. And I agree with YouTube. I get it. You don't want it out there. You don't want the world to see what it is. I get it. I get it.
I think that's just such a great point from Paige, where it's like people covering this are the ones that get punished, but not the people doing the activities. You know what I mean? James Charles isn't being punished, but the people that talk about him. Colleen Ballinger, but the ones that talk about him, or her. It's this consistent pattern we see, and I think her showing so many examples is just painting the picture perfectly about the hypocrisy of social media and the protection of some creators versus others.
I'm okay with your judgment on that. I'm not going to appeal this judgment it is that you have made. So if we are in the business of protecting children at all costs, which I stand by, why the hell are we not doing it when it takes place in the more feminine spaces? Why do abusers and groomers have to be cis-het men? Groomers and abusers look like anybody. They look like you, they look like me, they look like anybody. There is no look to being an abuser. There is no look to being a groomer. And whilst I will say that it is significant to some degree that I do believe that Colleen Ballinger's quote-unquote alleged grooming of the situation when it came to herself and her encounters with minors was not based on sexual attraction and wanting any kind of sexual gratification from that. What I will say is it was still severely inappropriate and still was in a way to
she got other stuff out of it.
But yet again, in 2023, I am sitting here telling you that there is another content creator with a substantial platform who has been allowed to remain despite the numerous allegations against them. And that's because they're utilizing something that I would like to call strategic media overexposure. Now, usually when
I feel like I'm at university right now.
Tends to be something that people dislike. You know, like when you go onto TikTok and you see like a brand, the particular brand being shoved down your throat to the point that you actually just really dislike the brand. Well, in regards to strategic media overexposure, what takes place is that a person continues to create content, continues to be in the world's face in order to avoid responsibility. It is kind of like redirecting the narrative. Media overexposure gives you the opportunity to reframe the narrative, which is crucial when facing or avoiding controversy. By
Avoiding
posting and sharing positive stories, accomplishments, or just a simple full vlog or makeup tutorial, the focus can then be redirected from the controversy onto something else.
I mean, as well, that's why we're aware that she hasn't changed. I mean, the fact that she has been vlogging this entire time means that she can just stockpile, these videos and over, consume you with these. I mean, when you look at the dislikes on her videos, the dislikes are outweighing the likes, but eventually people are going to stop clicking because they're like, oh, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? But that's what she's prying on. You know what I mean? That's what she's prying on.
This method involves actively reshaping the public discourse in order to highlight more redeeming or positive attributes of the individual.
She can't be what she's saying she is. I mean, look at the comments. Everybody is saying such great things about her.
This is all textbook PR. And please, I am pleading to you as an audience, do not, under any circumstances, be swayed in this. She wants you to humanize her and see her as an individual with flaws.
Because she's making rocks.
Might resonate with you because you are too an individual with flaws. And you see her as a person who deserves grace in the same way that you do. But I want you to ask yourself one fundamental question. Have you ever sent nudity or to children? Is that a redeemable trait or quality it is that you want to see from your content creators? Then if it's not, do not allow this to die. I've spent the past how many years with that sign up there. Anyone who knows what that sign is, leave it in the comment section. That sign says, don't forget about what James Charles did. Because I decided that I was not going to forget what it was that took place. Because the internet moves so incredibly fast and people like to forget what took place. And that it's only until there's another instance, another number, another allegation that people actually put focus and highlight on the issue. Some of these minors' first interactions with pornography was allegedly through Colleen Ballinger. Do you know what groomers like to do? They like to expose minors to adult content in order to make them feel comfortable with the discussion. I think about how Ethan was allegedly sent videos, images, pictures of James Charles in the nude, and how even though all of this took place when he was allegedly 14, he now has to sit back and watch this man go from strength to strength, achieving everything it is that he wants in his life. No repercussions. Everybody's still his friend. And I think about how that must feel. See, my abusers, they're in the pits of hell. Lives destroyed, one behind bars. I take great joy and great pride in knowing that they'll never have what I have. But I don't know how I'd feel if they were doing really great, that things just worked out. And do you know what's the thing that's like really awful about trauma? You don't cry for the now, you cry for the babies these babies were stolen from. So I would say the next form of protocol would be to stop watching Colleen Ballinger, not engage with her content.
Oh my god, Paige, this video is incredible. Holy shit. Fuck me, I've been on a journey.
We don't watch him anymore. I think the majority of us don't. But the newer generation, the younger generation, the ones who weren't around from 2015 onwards to watch his growth and his subsequent change into chasing straight men and contacting minors and using his For You page as a dating website, even though he said
Which, please don't forget that he said that. I mean, we talk about this all the time, that James Charles literally said that he uses his For You page as a dating. Thank you, Paige, for bringing that up. I love to bring up that point because that is so fucking crazy that he said that.
They aren't aware of the past, and that's what happens, is that they are able to rejuvenate and regenerate a new audience. And watching it happen again for the second time. So honestly, I don't even know what to say or how to end this video because I literally have nothing else to add. It's just a sad situation. I know Colleen never said it, but Oliver, Becky, Adam, and the numerous other individuals, I'm so sorry, and you deserve better. So anyway, with that being said, engage with this video, leave a like, leave a comment, all that.
Oh my god. Holy shit. Fuck me. Please, if you're watching this right now, I'm going to copy and paste the link of this. Please go over and like and watch and support Paige. This video is incredible. Holy fuck. Paige, I really appreciate you. I really, really do. And I'm so glad that people wanted me to watch this. I will link this below, and I will also link the documentary she did. That was honestly incredible. I think the parallel she did as well. I think she's a very intelligent woman. I think she's very intelligent.